and join the Cricut Explorer Maker and More Facebook group's Christmas in July event. Today I'm going to show you how to put together my Snowed In Theater card. This card goes together pretty simply. There are a couple tricky parts, so I thought a video might be helpful. Here you can see all the pieces cut for the cards that you need to assemble. I'm going to remove these pieces from the mat and then we'll start putting the card together. Let's start with the front. This is the two framed pieces, which are the front. We're going to apply glue to the back of the decorative paper and then attach it to the front piece. I'm using Barely Art Glue. I really enjoy this glue and use it all the time. It works just like another art glue that I won't say the name of, but you can get this in the wintertime. It doesn't freeze. Here I am applying the decorative piece to the front, making sure to line it up with the cut marks on the side and press it down to make sure it adheres. Next, we're going to work on our card base. This is your backing piece and the two side pieces. As you can see, I stamped pull on both of my little pull pieces. You could do this if you have a stamp, or you could use your Cricut to have it write it. I'm removing some temporary glue from off of mine that I used to test the pieces. When you pull yours off your Cricut mat, it's going to be like this. And you're just going to fold it on the score lines as shown. Next, you're going to place glue on the very first piece. Try to get it as close to the edge as possible so that it adheres nicely to your backing. Now, you're going to line this up with the sides, top and bottom of your backing piece, making sure to press down so that it adheres nicely. And it should look like this once it's glued. Now we're going to do the other side the exact same way. I'm doing this a little faster than I normally would putting a card together, but only because I'm trying to keep this video short. Now, I'm pressing this side down so that it adheres nicely. And here's what it should look like with both sides glued on. Next, we're going to add the decorative papers. I applied glue to the back of these and also adhered them. The white decorative papers I put on each of the sides with the pull tabs. Making sure to center them and line them up. If you want to add inking to your papers, do that before gluing them down to your card base. I skipped inking this time. Again, make sure you center this and make sure it's lined up with your other one that you've already glued down. Now, we're going to do the little side pieces. These are a little bit more tricky because you have to make sure you line up that cut in the decorative paper with the backing. As you can see, it's a little difficult to do because you can't really see through the slit. So I have a great trick for that. Just take a piece of scrap paper of some kind. I use just a folded up Post-it note. Stick it through the slit in the card base And then you're going to slide your decorative piece also through, as you can see here. Here I am sliding it through the backing. And then I just slide after reapplying some glue because my glue started to dry already. I just slide it through also. And that way it keeps your tabs lined up, or your cut marks rather. Make sure you center this and keep it lined up with your other paper. Then you can just remove the scrap of paper, press it down good, and do the other side the exact same way. There, I'm removing some more of that glue I used earlier. Make sure you don't get glue in that cut mark though, because you don't want to seal that up, because you're going to need that. So again, just slide it through. Keeps it lined up perfectly. And remove and press down. Now we're going to use the backing. So I cut a piece that matched the side panels, but I also saved the piece out of the front frame because I want to use both. I wanted the center to match those little small sides, but also I wanted to have the bright white from the front panels behind that to kind of make it pop out a little bit more. You can skip this part if you don't want to do that. You could just add your decorative piece that you cut. But I really like the idea of combining the two together. And here's the glue I use. Again, Barely Art glue. And that bottle has lasted me for so long. I have actual 2 refill bottles and I haven't even opened those yet. I've had that glue for a very long time and I craft almost daily. Now we're going to apply this piece. This is what's going to slide into those little slits on each side of your card. You can bend those little tabs if you need to, but I find it easy to just kind of give it a little twist and put it in sideways. And then it locks in and it's in there nice and tight. Once you get these in, you're going to center it in there, as you can see here. And then make sure it opens and closes. And you're going to glue just on the little tab part. Make sure you put it to the edge of your card and line it up. Once you get that side done, you're going to repeat the same thing with the other side. This is one of the trickier parts of the card, which is really not that bad. It's just kind of figuring out where things go. Now that both sides are glued down, you can see how that works. You may need to open and close it a few times to get that paper adjusted to doing that. I took my bone folder and just rubbed a little bit because I seen where paper was kind of dragging there, and that fixed it. Now it opens and closes very easily. Next, you're going to use these 2 pieces. When these cut, they were just strips. They had no score marks. You're going to make the score marks by placing it around your card as shown here. The reason we do this is that way it forms a loose fit once it's glued down, and a small dome shape, and that way the card slides in and out of it easily to open and shut. Fold both of these over your card the same way. Press down to get the scores. Apply glue, try to get it as close to the edge as possible, and then line it up to the bottom of your frame and the inside of your frame. So after pressing that down and making sure it's secure, I do the other side the exact same way. Again, pressing down to make sure it's secure. As you can see, it's forming this slight dome shape. That will make your card slide in and out very easily. I had to adjust slightly. I was going a little too fast and didn't allow the glue to dry before I moved it. Now I'm going to do the other side the exact same way. Gluing one side at a time, making sure to line it up with the bottom and the inside of the frame. And repeat for the last one. And that is how you put those on. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to slide your card through these, just like this. It takes a little bit of wiggling around to get it in there at first. And I was trying to do this from a weird angle. And then repeat for the other side. This is why we need that slight loose fit. It helps it to be able to go in and out through there easily. And there you have it. This is how your card should go together. Now that our card is put together, we can add the embellishments. Here you can see I have them all laid out and ready to go. You could have done this before adding the card base to the frame, but I wanted to do it afterwards to make sure everything opened and closed fine. I sped this process up so it wasn't going to take so much time for you to see where everything went. I used glue and pop dots for the embellishments. And here I am finishing off the card. Make sure if you glue anything to the front, it's something flat so it doesn't catch when opening and closing. Hope you enjoyed this video.